Welcome, everyone, to today's episode of Be Freaking Awesome. This is our very first live recorded episode that we've ever done. So thanks, everybody who's listening in with us here in the moment. And thanks, everybody else who's listening later. And hopefully this is still entertaining and not just fun to us here in the moment. Not you had to be there, but, we'll see. We've never really done this before. Don't know what to expect.
Did you tell what episode number this is?
Did I? What number episode is it, Angela?
200. Oh
200.
My gosh. 200. Wow. Oh my gosh. I love this. Because we have a live studio audience, we're getting like a little bit of the little emojis popping up for us. Emojis. Super fun. So I love that. Wait, thanks everybody for tracking my ADHD offline. Oh, that's right. We got to take a picture or it didn't happen. Good call, Al.
We'll take a couple of pictures because I think there's some people who are going to be joining us for the recording here in a few moments.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You just kind of hold a smile while I take a screenshot because I keep catching you while you're making a really crazy face. Okay, there we go. Now we got the screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
Angela, what are you hoping to talk about today?
Yeah, I want to kind of review some of our favorite episodes. I wanted to find success for a podcast because there are people who I was visiting with somebody recently that I'm used to speaking in podcast language. I was out to dinner last night and somebody was telling me about their 4 episodes that they've just, their 4th episode launching on their podcast and defining success, especially when you're starting out to 200 episodes in. What if it doesn't generate money? What if it just generates joy? And what if you get cool texts from people that are like, hey, don't you have an episode about? And you get to send them a link to an episode that's a good resource for people. So anyway, I think it's very cool. Those are some of the things. And then we've got a few of our previous guests that have agreed to pop in and say hi. And so this is kind of a fun little party that we got going on.
Yeah. So why don't you just jump us right in? What do you think is success for the Be Freaking Awesome podcast?
Yeah. Also, if you come into the studio audience, say hi. Tell us that you're there. And
there's a chat that you can talk in with your here watching on Riverside. Also, feel free to watch on YouTube or on LinkedIn. We have an assistant, aka my dad, your husband, who I'm sure will let us know what's going on, our technical producer. Thanks, Barry, for all the extra testing and things like that, and all the ways that actually, let's just give like a huge moment shout out, Barry, all the ways that he helps with the podcast that very few people ever gets to see. And so thank you. He doesn't edit, he doesn't do the specific production, but really and truthfully, Barry helps keep all of the wheels on this bus rolling. So let's just give like a huge moment shout out, Barry. Oh, Angela pulled up one of the live streams to check out what's going, and then we live streaming on the live streaming. So Angela, real quick, let's talk about with podcast, and then we've got a couple of our guests here I want to let into from the waiting room. What does success for this podcast look like for you?
Yeah, so we use this podcast. I would say the number one thing I use this podcast for is a resource. It is an opportunity for us to capture kind of our thought leadership, what we are thinking about, which helps when we are working with clients, especially coaching clients, to be able to offer them additional resources and thoughts about how we think about things and kind of the trainings that we offer. And so it's a great way for me to be able to say, hey, I need you to go listen to this episode. You can kind of hear us break out and expand on some of the topics. The other thing is that other people use it for a resource. So we happen to know that there's a couple of therapists that use this as a resource because they feel like we've explained things well, or maybe they explained things really well in a layman kind of term when they were visiting with us. So I would say that's the number one way, is that it is a resource.
I would love to share for me. I like that I get unexpected like brownie points and authority points for having a podcast. And there are times where there's actually a lot of stuff in life. I would really love to encourage and remind everybody that when you're like, wow, that person's so cool. They wrote a book. They have a podcast. They do these things. You could do that too. I promise you. Right. if you wanted to, go do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. That's fair too. But everyone's like, oh my gosh, wow, podcast. And I'm like, yeah, I show up like every week and talk with my mom about fun things and challenge her and ask guests questions. And I don't know, like that's all it took is just doing that every week for 4 straight years.
Oh.
So there you go. You just got to keep showing up every day. Really and truthfully ends up being some of the secret to success is ongoing showing up. So those are 2 little thoughts we have on success.
The other thing is that I am not a big numbers person. I mean, I am from the standpoint of like, I do think through, I think in the world from a P&L perspective, like I literally will assess things and be like, I wonder how they got any margin on that to be able to continue to operate. So I do think in terms of P&L, but this particular thing, I don't necessarily, I don't get worked up about how many people will listen to it this particular week, because I know at any point we could end up with an episode that is the number 1 episode if it's a search term on Apple Podcasts, which
people are
happened.
Searching for like breaking the inner critic or taming the inner critic or things around the inner critic. We show up as one of the top episodes, and so one of our episodes between 50 and 100. I'll also let you in on a little secret. We don't actually do formal seasons here on the Be Freaking Awesome podcast. There's a lot of other podcasts that do. However, in our head, every 50 episodes is a season. And so in my head, I'm like, it's an episode from season 2 that all of a sudden is like double or triple, like the next highest, most listened to episode, because people are searching for it and it's making an impact. And that is really cool. I will say on the numbers, I do distinctly remember the day that our YouTube channel had 12 subscribers and I didn't know 5 of them. And I was like, Mom, there are 5 random strangers on the internet that subscribe to us. Like, oh my gosh, people who don't know us. 5 whole people. That's so cool. Don't get me wrong. The other 7 people in that 12 were also very cool, but it was like, it was Barry, it was my husband, it was like people we knew, and it was like, yeah, thanks for supporting us. 5 strangers, and now, oh my gosh, we have 75 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Like, what the heck? I don't know a lot of them, and that's so cool. And I'm sure somebody else is like, only 75 subscribers, that's nothing. I'm so pumped about. I was pumped about 12, guys. Of course, I'm pumped about every single new subscriber.
Really quick, I do want to say that if you're looking for that inner critic episode, it's episode 64.
Awesome.
So, 64.
Well, can we go ahead and let a couple of our guests who are in the waiting room in so they can we can chat with them for a second. So we've got Don J. Rice and Gary Ware. I'm going to let them both in at the same time.
Oh my gosh, how fun is that?
Hi, Don J. Hi, Gary. I don't know if you guys knew that you're getting added in. I don't know if you can see. Don is there. J. Gary is there. Hey.
Hey.
Gary. How's it going?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Don J definitely looks like he does not know the audio is not working.
He's so confused.
That face is hilarious.
Maybe
Welcome to our historic day. Live podcasting. It's not terrifying at all.
No, I actually don't think it's terrifying. To me, it is just another experiment that we're running. We're just like, well, what does this do? What'll happen? I don't know.
And our friend Gary Ware shows up. Okay, if you are not following Gary Ware on Instagram, you absolutely should. Just at Gary Ware, because he has the Friday Funnies that my week is not complete until I have read the Friday Funnies.
Thank you.
Lots of great information about play, but for sure you got to follow that. So,
well, I was going to say, it's not just the Friday Funnies. It's all of the things. It's the research about fun in the workplace. It's the practical tips. It's the how to connect with him to get more resources and engagement, and all of the things that you do, Gary, are just phenomenal. So thanks for loving on us and being here, and thanks for just being a positive force out in the world.
Yay, congratulations on 200.
Thank you.
you.
Gary was
Okay.
also in episode number 107. Oh, goodness.
I know, right? The dogs
Goodness.
are out. Who's letting the dogs
Okay,
out?
so I have a question.
Yes.
That is my children's favorite song right now. They constantly are listening to that in the morning, and I'm like, guys, this is a good song. It's not a good song 12 times in a row. Like, we really should ease up a little. But I have a question, Gary, if you're interested. I was hoping to ask maybe each of our past guests who joined us, maybe 2 parts, or you can pick which part. What are you doing in your life these days that's freaking awesome? And what advice would you have for others to be freaking awesome?
All right. What am I doing that is freaking awesome? Well, other than trying to keep up with my 2 young kids, I feel like that's like the default as a dad.
It is.
One thing that I have had a new love for, that I've always loved it, but like I started picking it up and playing around with it, is magic. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of magic. I love everything magic, and just like a lot of people when they're kids, you maybe get like a magic set and you learn a trick, and that was that for me. And then I got older, and then I just didn't do it. And then I was at this event, and these guys that I met there, like were doing like amateur like sort of magic, and I was like, oh wow. And they're like, dude, just pick it up, there's so many tutorials and stuff. So yeah, just recently I just started like just playing around with it again. And so yeah, so that's what's awesome for me. I'm not trying to be like the next David Blaine or anything like that. You're not going to see me in Vegas with Penn and Teller, but it does bring me a lot of joy, and it is fun to like see people's shock and amazement of like, oh, look at that. So that's that. So advice for someone who wants to do something awesome. Do like what I did. Like, what is something that maybe when you were younger you did and you don't do anymore? Preferably from the age of 13 under. And how can you remix that in some way to play around with it now as an adult?
I love that. I also, so on the engaging in magic, the piece that you put out there, you are not doing it for profit. You're not doing it so that it can further your lifestyle. You're not doing it to go to these big, it doesn't have to have, okay, well, one day this will end up with a show in Vegas. No, it's just because.
Yeah.
Just because why not? Because it's fun to delight people
Yes.
and to give that little shock and awe. And I think even in that, when you're picking up something, you don't have to monetize every hobby. And that's revolutionary and rebellious to not monetize your hobbies, it feels like.
I know, right?
But don't do it poorly. Do
Yes.
it badly. Do it for whatever reason, just
Yes.
because you can. I love that. Such good advice for people.
I love that you did you tied in. It's like Gary handed us a playbook on his brand when you talked about it being rebellion.
I know, Sam. I was like,
it's true.
oh, yes.
It's like there's a whole book that I read that's somewhere here in the orange. I will say, so I have my bookshelves. I don't know if you can see all of them behind me, but they are color coordinated, which I think is very, very fun. And then every now and again, I'm like, I can't find, like, I have to remember what color somebody's book was. And I'm like, okay, what was the color of the book? Because there's not another organization. So then I'm like, yeah, Gary Ware, orange, right there. Like,
yes.
right in the orange section. So the ones that are like black and white though are like, there's a lot of books that are black and white. I'm like, come on guys, let's get some more color in our life.
Color,
let's do some more things. So yeah, anyway, you're up there. I love it.
John Jay's back.
Okay.
John
back? Jay, are you back?
He is not back. He is a figment of our imagination.
I don't know.
Smiling, so that's better.
Dawn, can you hear us? Do you hear us talking to you?
This is hilarious. Okay. Hey, Gary, where are you traveling next? You're always going somewhere fun. Oh, that's exciting. Was that your first trip to Hawaii?
No.
Was that your first trip? Or
no? So the group that I, again, got enthusiastic through magic with is this group called Dent, and they're all about putting a dent in the universe. It's based off of that Steve Jobs quote. And they have this collaboration weekend, which just happened, and it was in Maui. And the second Dent event I went to was in Maui, which was in 2019. So I've been a few times.
Okay. Very
I feel
cool.
like Gary is always involved in the coolest groups and things,
Really
and World Domination Summit, and then neurodiversion, and there's
Well,
always something really cool that
That's how
he's
we
involved
met. So I
in.
guess birds of a feather, right?
Exactly.
There you
That's
go.
true. That's true.
While you're still here, tell us, do you have the dates on neurodiversion?
Yes.
2026.
Neurodiversion 26 is going to be in March. It is going to, the dates changed slightly because we got a better deal. So it's going to be around March 19th. So I think that's the pre-party. So it's going to be the 20th and the 21st of March in Austin, Texas.
So exciting. And we've had several guests from who we met there at Neurodiversion that have been on the podcast. And then I think we just need to make sure we have a playlist that is all of the like neurodiverse conversations. Very last week was probably one of my favorite conversations I've had in a while about being neurodiverse in the workforce, and some research that Summer, I'm going to pronounce her last name wrong, but Summer, who's a friend of Angela's, doing PhD research on the female genotype of autism and how that's showing up differently than the male genotype of autism, and all of the implication. And you just get so nerdy. And I was like, this is too much for a 40-minute podcast. I could talk to you for like 6 hours. And anyway, found myself like in a hyper focus mode. And Angela was like, hey, Sammy, we're being recorded. We're on a podcast. And I'm just having a conversation with a friend, which are some of my favorite episodes. Ones where I kind of forget that we're recording a podcast. I'm like, oh, right.
I'm over here sending Slack, land the plane, land the plane, land the plane. And she's like, oh, what is that?
I'm like, I've got another question for you. It's a big one. And she's like, great, thanks. That'll be a 2-parter episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, right between 25 and 35, it'll be like, okay, now let's get to the actual topic. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got 2 parts coming. Let's go. Because we have found that while I love our listeners, 50 minutes seems to intimidate people. And our episodes that went 50 and 56 minutes, I'm tempted to go back and cut them in half and publish them twice.
Our episodes perform better if it's under 40 minutes. If it's over 40 minutes, they have less listenership. And honestly, the ones that are over 40 minutes are some of the richer conversations. So that's fine. We'll cut it into. And then when people are binging it, they can listen to both at the same time.
There you go. Okay, Don J.
Hey there.
You're here.
You're here. You hear us. We hear you.
Episode 157.
Phenomenal.
I just needed a lot of problems getting set up to prove to your listeners that we are live. So
oh, well, you'll be able to watch the YouTube where you were really frowny.
Your face. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, I didn't even know it was hooked up yet. And anyway, problems with it. Anyway, it's just crazy.
Yeah. That's like an episode of now. Like you couldn't write this.
I realized it was yeah.
That's
I love it. Okay,
in case
John
y'all know,
J.
this is unscripted. So.
What are you up to these days? What I was asking Gary, what are you doing that's freaking awesome?
Just signed or just got an agreement with Compass Financial, and we'll be co-authoring a book together. So
very exciting.
Money and marriage. So yeah.
So that's a great topic.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were redoing their money and marriage book, and wanted someone to talk about it from a behavioral financial psychology standpoint, and so here we are. So so that's a lot of fun. So we've been starting to dive into that. So
such an important topic too, and I feel like an area that one could face lots of conflict and lots of angst, and hopefully you're able to give good people good like guideposts. Hey, it doesn't have to feel so dark and scary. It's definitely something people need resources on. So that's awesome work. And then our second question, Don J, if you could give people advice on how to be freaking awesome, what would your advice for them be?
Boy, I think it's really knowing that it's just safe to be you. I think so many of us hold back what is really beautiful inside of us because we just feel like it's not safe to be our true selves. And it is. Will there be people out there that want to sneer and ridicule? Yeah, they're going to do that no matter what you do. But it is just safe to be the real you, and you're valued for being the real you. So
that's beautiful.
I love that. I think that it's interesting because so often people are like, I want to hide the messy. And it's the messy where the connection happens. And so then they're like, I don't understand why I'm lonely. And I'm like, well, because you have to share the messy. And they're like, no, that can't be the answer. That can't be the answer. And I'm not judging, because for 2 years, I would ask my therapist, why am I so angry? She says, you have unresolved grief. No, I've been to therapy. I'm fine. What else you got? I literally 2 years. I mean, it's not like I was going weekly, but still, I was going often enough that it was a pattern. And I was like, no, that can't be it. So I get it. When you don't know, you don't know. But man, the messy is where the connection happens, and not in the way of like, oh, woe is me, but like, no, here's who I really, really am.
yeah.
And the things I'm wrestling with.
Yeah. Angela, I recently saw a quote that said, friendship is not meant to be convenient. And we so often right now want convenience, and we want easy, and we don't want messy. But like, good connection and good relationships aren't convenient. It's not convenient to drive my friend to the airport, to show up when my neighbor's husband's out of town and her kids are driving her crazy, and I'm going to bring her dinner as well as get me dinner. Like, that's not convenient, but that doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile and meaningful and beautiful and work that's worth doing just because it's not convenient. So I think that also, on like the loneliness side of things, I'm going to like say something and then pivot back to what you were saying about being safe to be yourself, Don J. I am also in the process of writing a book that I'm hoping will come out this next year, 2026. And one of the components of it is about communication. And I truly believe that each and every one of us has like a heart language, is what I'm calling it. It is that language of who you really are and that inner you. And we have to learn how to translate and speak from that heart language in whatever language it is we speak out loud. So English, Spanish, Mandarin, whatever that is. And when we don't get good at learning that translation, it is hard to express our heart and our true self when that piece we don't work on. And so that is part of knowing yourself. It really is trying to take a different perspective on knowing who you are, know how to communicate with yourself on that inner, that heart soul level. And so I think all of us have a heart voice and a heart self that we just have to learn how to communicate and find ways to express that. So that's part of what I'm hoping the book will address, is one, explaining the concept that we all need to start out bilingual, our heart language and our language we speak out loud. And when you can get really good at translating those things, that's when you're able to show the mess and understand your own, and understand when somebody else is sharing their heart language, and be able to hold that precious and honor and respect their inner self that's coming out. So that's what I'm hoping some of the things that the book will cover. But I love it. I was like, very aligned and synchronous advice to share.
What's interesting is thinking about the stats on how much of communication is verbal versus how much is nonverbal, which then really kind of makes your point well, is because I think we can express it easier with our facial features and our body language a little more naturally than putting it into spoken language. And I've never thought about that might be why, 90% of our, is it 90 or 95% that's nonverbal cues? I don't know.
It's a little less than that.
Is it less? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, lots of
only 3 to 5% is
in
verbal.
there, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I was thinking.
There it is. So I was wrong. Yeah.
You were both right because it's
and I think that
3 to 5%. So,
and then I also think it's just how you talk to yourself is so much of the foundation that when your voice to yourself is not doesn't have good hygiene, you don't have good self hygiene in your self talk. Good hygiene in your self talk. That's what I'm trying to say.
I've never heard you say that just like that. Good hygiene in your self talk. I love that.
It's true though. It's true. That's like how it is. You know, you have to brush your teeth. You also have to sometimes scrub your self talk. Like, well, brain. And I will find it.
Scrub your brain.
It can be a little bit like there's a couple of things in my house that I am just accepted that like I have to clean my pantry like once a quarter because it doesn't matter how many like bins and organization and tool like things I put in it, it's gonna fall apart. And I have to like, okay, let's go reset back to our systems, back to our things. And sometimes that's what it is, my brain, especially when we're making those new habits to just say, nope, I know. I'm gonna start off really, really good. I'm gonna do the training. And then I'm going to come back and be like, oh, dang, I fell off the wagon a little bit. Let's get back on track. And you just keep doing that. And that's okay. That's okay to fall off the wagon. We got to get back on. So.
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just working with someone recently and we were working on a daily mantra for the first 7 minutes of a person's day, right? For that neuroplasticity window. And so I have everyone in their mantras put, I am loved, I am safe. So this person put that in their mantra and I said, okay, when you say I am loved, tell me who that is. He said, well, you know, my family. And I said, okay, now what about you? Do you love yourself? And it just broke open this entire window, Sammy. He's like, you know, I don't. And it's like, this is why I'm having resistance to certain things you suggest because I don't love myself. And so, you know, it helped us in this whole nother launch of working together, of just like, well, there's the real issue, right? So many of us don't. There's so much negativity and negative self-talk that our brain's doing all day long to ourselves. And we just have to realize, like, wait a minute, like, call it out for the garbage it is, right?
Well, isn't that fun though to be the coach to see that for somebody where like the thing will come up and you're like, that's it, that's the big issue. You see that, right? And they'll sometimes be like, no, and be like, oh, well, that's the big issue. Like there it is. We found
what does I'm not loving myself have to do with anything? And you're like, oh dear. Okay, back to the basics.
If you want to know how Angela and I feel about that, you can go listen to an episode that's Pineapple, Taylor Swift, and something else. Things we're grumpy about.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it's really hard when we can see it so obviously. And the person's like, no, I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do the work. And you're like, but it's like, here it is on a silver platter. So many people always wonder what their problem is. Here's your problem. I'd love to tell you what your problem is.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks so much, guys, for hopping on and saying hello. We appreciate it a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try transition this. I know we have another guest who's going to come on here in a second. I don't know how to like say goodbye to guests who are on and like put you like back in like a waiting room where you can still keep watching. I don't know how to like kick people out, but I don't know that like, that's the right answer.
If I end up just getting booted to the ether, I know it's not personal.
It's absolutely not personal. It's a lack of experience.
Need you to boot yourself to the ether. Could you press the leave button, please?
Oh, I do know how to kick somebody out. I can. I know how to kick them out. Okay. I did. Yeah, I just don't know if it like.
Yeah, but I don't know how to go to like the green room where I can be a like right in the audience.
Yeah. I know you could go back to our social media and click on the audience link and keep watching there. Oh my gosh, so funny!
I'll send you an Instagram. Yes, Gary with the audience.
Thank you both so much for hopping on with us for a few minutes. You guys are both amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I also love we all did the millennial heart because we're not Gen Zers
right.
here.
What's the other one? Like
my team was.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing a gang sign when I'm
I end up like giving people
or like the little heart.
Yeah, Angela's worried that she's giving them like a middle finger. Is what she thinks she's doing. So you gotta,
or like the little teeny.
You gotta watch out. Anyway. Oh, I haven't seen that one. That's cute.
Wait, what is? Oh,
You go like
oh my
this.
goodness.
I like it. Okay.
It's a little.
Well, thank you.
All right, anyways.
A little love. All right. Thanks, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, Don J. Bye, Gary. Okay. Do we have our other guest in the waiting room yet? Nope, I didn't see him there. Okay. I think he'll be on soon. Angela, are you having fun?
I am having fun.
Oh, Barry just sent a chat that said, slam the door on the way out. That's so funny. Oh, is there another chat that popped in? There you go.
I did take a screenshot when they were both in here.
Me too. Okay, Angela, you have been doing this now for 4 years. Technically, even though I was not here for the first 50 episodes on this side of the microphone, I was around. I was helping with the editing and some of the producing. I guess I didn't do it for a hot second because I had a baby in the middle of there. And during that time, I took some time off. Recently, somebody was telling me that they were re-listening to episode number 1, or they were listening for the first time. And funnily enough, our very first other co-host, Josh, introduced himself and said he made some type of claim about how he's the favorite kid because he's the one who gets to be the host. And she sent me a text and was like, well, I see how that turned out for him. Considering I know he's not the host anymore. So that's so funny. But, Josh, my brother, Angela's son, did host episodes 1 through 50 with Angela. And then I took over when he left and got a big boy corporate job. So there it is. Do you have anything that you would do differently, Angela, if you could go back to the beginning and start over? What would you do different?
I think I would have gone to a podcast festival or a podcast conference sooner. I feel like I went to PodFest earlier this year and I learned so much. And I feel like our podcast has gotten dramatically better this year. That's one. Number 2, which that is a shout out. We will be going to PodFest in Orlando if anybody is going to join us.
Also, can I share real fast on how our podcast has gotten dramatically better? Spotify Wrapped came out last week and I forgot to share our stats. I'm still going to go in and do it. We had a 141% increase in our total audience and a 999% increase in new audience members. So what that means is that from in the year 24, how many new people joined? And then what was the percent increase from the new people joined in 24 to new people who joined in 25? And I actually think we probably broke their counter because it's 999%. I had 71% increase in followers on Spotify. We had enough people who had shared that we were one of the most shared shows on Spotify, more shares than 76% other podcasts on Spotify.
Wow.
Our show's growth outpaced 85% of other podcasts on Spotify. Wow. And we had 47 people that we were a top 10 show, 32 people we were a top 5 show, and 14 people we were their number 1 podcast that they listened to in all of 2025. And I think that's so stinking cool. That's more cool than the 12 subscribers on YouTube, and the 5 of them I didn't know. There's 14 people out there. And I could go ahead.
And for me, it isn't about the numbers on that. Just to go back to what I said, for that sort of thing, it's cool to see the impact that it makes. Like we set out this, if you were here with us for episode probably around 150-ish, we talked about this new way of running an experiment and goal setting where we weren't going to do a traditional revenue goal, but we set our island, and our island was that we wanted to, of where we were headed, we wanted to have a bigger impact. We wanted to do really fun and interesting work. And we wanted to have a well-rounded life. And those numbers of people that were in their top 10, that means that we're getting to pour into people and we're getting to share information and maybe change how people, definitely changed how some people think, because I get text messages that tell me how someone has learned something that they are now applying to their life. And that is the coolest thing on the planet. That's the absolute coolest and most fun.
Yeah. It's episode 152, Pick Your Island, that we talked about the exercise of what's your island that you're sailing to.
Yeah.
So, Angela.
Yeah.
We do have a big announcement also to share.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we do.
We could talk about that, and we could talk a little bit about how we picked an island and we kind of sailed there, and it's kind of what we're doing right now. And I also venture to say we probably will have revenue goals for 2026. I don't know that the no revenue goal like we did in 25. I have revenue goals. How about that? It may not be company wide. I have intentions and things that I want to try hit. Is Josh coming on soon?
He is. I thought I added him to a calendar. Keep going. Revenue goals.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where I was like, we want to wait till after Josh, or do you want to do it before Josh? So why not? We'll go ahead and announce now. One of the big things that has happened this year is that the business has grown, that communication, coaching, and training and development and all of that is getting bigger, and more people are engaging with it. And so, as some of you know, for a while, this has existed within the Belford Group, and starting in, well, it's technically starting now, but if you're the IRS, it's starting in January, that we are... Should you not put that on the internet? I don't know.
There's nobody editing this in case we mess it up, Sammy.
Money's not being spent. Okay, whatever. Very soon, Be Freaking Awesome is going to become its own company. And instead of doing coaching and training and development underneath the Belford Group, we are going to exist underneath our own brand. And what better brand than this one? Because this is what we've been doing and what we've been working towards. And frankly, it's a really good hook. So you are like, ooh, Be Freaking Awesome. That's interesting. And then I get to say, yeah, I help you and your teams be freaking awesome. So not only are we going to continue investing in people through this podcast, we're also going to invest in people also through books, and the book I'm writing, books Angela's continuing to write, and through coaching, training, and development. So those opportunities look like executive coaching with myself or Angela. They look like team trainings where we come into your team and we help give you guys tools, skills, equip you to have better workplaces and to be able to communicate with each other in a way that is strong and natural, doesn't feel like it's a lot of hard work, but also is real and authentic and processes conflict well and all of those things. And then we also are speakers, and you can book us. You say, hey, I've got a conference and I want to book you to be a speaker and to come give a keynote or do whatever. That is also a way that you can engage with us. All of these things have existed. None of them are brand new right now. They are just moving and going to be underneath this umbrella that we're going to be so much more intentional about, have more resources and opportunity within Be Freaking Awesome.
In addition to the executive coaching, I have 2 new clients that are public speaking coaching clients. So if you need help and you want to be coached around public speaking, I just wrapped up doing TEDx Bentonville, coached their speakers, as well as coached a few of the speakers at TEDx Fayetteville, and help people do everything from get ready for a conference to improve the workshops that they do better sales presentations, all of that. And to your point, it's not new. It's just we have a new container that is going to be make it easy, so that way when people send referrals to us, then we will be able to, it's really clear what we do.
Absolutely. Okay, we've got a John in the lobby. Do you know who John is?
I don't know who John is.
We have so many Johns in our life. I'm going to let them in. Come on in.
Oh,
that's not John.
Why does it say John?
Does it say John?
It does say John.
I don't know why it says John.
Now it says Josh.
Okay. Hey,
Hello.
it's
Look at there,
Josh.
Josh.
We were just talking bad about you.
Typical.
She was, not me.
It was me. Somebody told me that they listened to episode 1 and you said, I'm the host because I'm the favorite. And she sent me a text and said, well, I see how that turned out for him.
Exactly. Yeah, it turned out by me getting to pass over the torch so you could feel like the favorite.
Sure.
Yeah.
Josh
Sorry.
gave a mug to our mom a couple years ago for Christmas that whenever I go over to their house, somebody will make a drink and try hand it to me, and I'm like, I refuse. I will not be drinking from this mug. And it says, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Love, your second child. And I will not be drinking from that mug ever. Okay, so
I drink from it almost every day because it makes me smile.
Anyway, whatever. Josh,
Well,
how
it
are you
looks like
doing?
good. Chrissy just mentioned that I'm in a warehouse. I am in a warehouse. I was at work, and I don't think your calendar invite made it onto my calendar or something.
Yep.
I don't know. I was so.
Oh, I mean, I sent it
sorry.
right that moment. No. Just
Oh,
right that
I was
second.
like, yeah, I did. So.
Nope. I
Yes,
forgot.
I am. This is the warehouse in the back of my office with
Yeah.
all of our stuff. You guys are currently propped up against a bunch of collars.
Hey.
Go get them on Walmart.com. We don't get the money from it. Walmart does because we just sell them to Walmart. But I don't know.
So wait, what do you do?
Tell us what you do.
I am a sourcing manager for a vendor for Walmart. Just recently got promoted into the Western Hemisphere sourcing manager. So I will now be in charge of all of the Americas and technically a little bit of Europe if we ever quote from there, and handling all of our quotes and production. Not, I guess production, that's a weird way to say it. I'm not producing it myself, but all of the sourcing for that. So finding the factories, doing the testing, making sure the products are good, QA, all of that stuff. So,
well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So how's corporate life treating you? Any regrets on leaving the family business, or feeling fine where you are?
Those are two very different questions.
Okay, well, let's hear them both.
No.
Sammy,
I'll just answer the first one.
The other people.
I'll just answer the first. Yeah, corporate life is good and bad. The corporate ladder is annoying sometimes, but also it's things to strive for. Not working with family means I see family less, which is good and bad. Because you see family less, and also you see family less. So
yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna have to say about that one. I think we're gonna have to pass on any further explanation of that.
No comment.
And since you left, you got married.
I have gotten married.
We have
yes.
talked about this.
Yeah.
Yep. I was still recording when I was first dating my now wife, because there was if you're a avid listener, you would remember the soggy cookie episode. And Abby still makes fun of me for that. If you don't remember this episode, it's probably episode 31, something like that. So they're gonna look it up. Go check it out.
We actually have an episode that is something about eating a cookie, and it's not that one. It's a different one. It's cookie is not in the title. You would think it is, but it's not.
It's episode 24. I'm pretty sure, because it is
6 off from. She was from New Zealand, I believe, or Australia.
Australia, yeah. We recorded it some dumb time of the day to get it lined up with her schedule. Yeah, Pauline Bernardo. Yeah.
And if you want to know, it's not all about soggy cookies. That was just our explanation, our avenue of talking about what she helps people work through. So it was something in the very moment I had just eaten a cookie in my favorite way of dunking some of it in and then letting some of it drop down to the bottom of the cup of milk so I can finish it later. And Abby was making fun of me. So that was our avenue of things you're trying to get over. I don't remember exactly what she does, but it was something on the lines.
It says, the session notes say, host Josh Belford volunteers to go through Pauline's process of overcoming fear.
Yeah.
Sharing an example where judgment came up. There you go. And it's
So
like
she still makes
half of
fun
a
of me for that.
paragraph.
Yep.
Anyway.
So, Angela, I don't know if you heard from Sammy, but we ran into each other at the store on
we did
Saturday.
Saturday.
On Saturday, randomly, me and my wife were at Target, and we see Lexi and Sammy walking down the aisle. So we got to peruse the aisles of Target, talking about Christmas shopping, Christmas gifts, and whatnot, just randomly on a Saturday.
It was lovely. I really enjoyed it.
From that, the reason I brought it up is because from that, Sammy and Lexi left the conversation. They told me later, they're glad to see that despite them not being around as often, that I still get bullied plenty. They're happy to see that.
Well, from his wife, I wanted to clarify specifically. Yep. We loved seeing his wife bully him, and then even where we have gotten to pass that torch on. We didn't actually pass it on; she just picked it up,
Yes.
and that was great. So it was very funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Josh,
I have Lexi in the background laughing.
We had a couple of other of our past guests who were on a moment ago, and I asked them 2 questions, and I'd love to present the questions to you. One of them we kind of talked about a little bit. What are you doing these days that's freaking awesome? And then you can answer that one, and we'll do the second one.
Yeah, this is a new role. The role that I was mentioning earlier is a role that they created like with me in mind, which is pretty cool because they're thinking after a year and a couple months, they're wanting to expand this part of their business and felt like me being here would be a good way to do that. And so that's pretty cool. And with that, I'm getting to kind of create what the role looks like, so I'm creating the processes, the tracking, the relationships with the factories, all of that. So it's a little bit open-ended, which makes things harder, but then also I get to fill in what is open. So that's pretty cool. And then also working, Abby and I started a vending machine business. So we have 5 machines. I'm getting another one delivered tomorrow. So that will be 4 in locations. So just one more to get placed. So that's also pretty cool too. Our old office, it's not really an office anymore. It's just filled with healthy drinks and snacks and coffees and chips and whatnot. So, yeah.
Did I know I didn't. I would love to say you're welcome for one of those placements, and I don't even think you know this. So
Don't.
I shared your post on social media, and my friend Damara sent me a message and said, "Are these people legit?" And I said, "Yep, it's my brother. He does great." She went to lunch that day, had a friend that she was basically, it was like, you need to get this. And then she came back to lunch, I think it was like a week later, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you already got the vending machine done." And so I don't know who the friend is. I couldn't tell you that. But I know that my friend Damara, shout out, was like, "Hey, I passed on your brother to this person, and they already got the vending machine, and they're loving it." So
yep.
You're welcome. Me just out here
Thank
sharing
you.
your LinkedIn posts, the peek behind the curtain, proofreading and helping him. He's like, "Hey, can you edit my LinkedIn post for me, make it look lovely?" Delighted to do so. So way to go.
Yep.
You're only entrepreneur. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys want to buy ad space on my machines, I'll send you our little flyer for the cost.
There you go.
There you go. I think that's a referral bonus, right? Isn't that a thing that, like, whenever?
I don't know.
The referral family friends are excluded.
We could get the advertising in exchange. The referral bonus paid out in advertising. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, we can discuss it later. Maybe a discount. I don't know about free. I don't know.
But that's not your only entrepreneurial venture, right, Josh?
I think it's the only one he's doing right now.
Showcase. Yes, it's a little different situation, but yes, that's why I was like, didn't quite pick it up. Yes, Abby works at Showcase Trophy and Awards in downtown Rogers, which, for ease of explanation, we co-own. We just co-own it with another couple right now, which we got introduced to them by Angela. And then after talking to them for a couple months, and working out what things would look like, we entered a partnership with them. So Abby's been working there for a year and a half ish now, and I do some of the website work and some of the online work, and helping trying to grow sales for them, for us.
Belford Group uses them for name tags and awards. They made us some cool. One of my clients used them to get some cool ornaments last year. So, yeah, all kinds of fun stuff.
If I had a way to show it, I would, but I don't have a way to show it. But Abby designed my company's. I had to bring a white elephant gift, and so she designed we put out an alcohol bottle, and she put a whole design into it. It was like Christmas trees and a snowman, and then it had the logo in the middle of the whole thing. And so that was our white elephant gift, which we did that last year as well. And with the company I work out, as a family-owned company as well, and all of the family went crazy for it. They really enjoyed it. So
that's awesome.
Yep. So went with it this year again too.
I need to reach out to her because that gives me some good ideas.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's so much for our community group, she's gonna engrave like wine glasses. It's a secret Santa, so she's gonna engrave wine glasses and then a bottle of wine, like saying like, here's a date night. So the gift will be wine glasses, bottle of wine, a candle, and a card game that we like. So yeah, and then lots of people like to do wine bottles for wedding gifts, or cutting boards for wedding gifts too. Those are good. We can do all of that kind of stuff. So lots of options. Very cool stuff.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Okay.
What's the advice?
Oh yeah, second question. If you could give people advice on how to be freaking awesome, what advice would you give them?
What advice would I give them of how to be freaking awesome? I would just say I'm both a goals person and not a goals person. Like, I don't like setting far out there goals and the whole like writing them down, and they have to be SMART goals and all this stuff, but just like something to strive after in general, and making them like, people also put a lot of emphasis on making them specific. Like, I think that's the first one of SMART goals. I think having goals that are less specific is also really good for you. Like a goal of go to the gym more. I could understand why someone would say that's not helpful, but also if you can stick to that, that's going to be really good for you. Just going to the gym more is going to be a great thing for you to do. And it doesn't have to be, I need to bench X amount or run this amount or go 4 times a week every single week, because that's how you actually get discouraged in them. I've noticed, at least for me. So I think there's a balance in both, and maybe, I don't know if you guys would disagree, but that's what I would say is like, set more vague, attainable goals and strive harder just to hit that smaller metric. It doesn't have to be over the top. You're making a complete and total life change. You're going to the gym a couple times a week, every single week, except for when you're traveling or when you're sick or whenever your kid's sick or whenever work's hard, but then you get back to it just a couple times a week for a year, and you're going to like going to the gym a little bit more. And it's going to be a little bit easier to wake up because you're not feeling bad about yourself for missing it the night before or the day before or the week before. So
it's almost like he listened to episode 153 where we said forget SMART goals, and it was one of the only.
I didn't listen to
that. Episode 7, we actually unpacked this idea. Josh and I talked about the difference between SMART goals and grand goals, which the way he's describing it, I talk about in Be Freaking Awesome as grand goals.
I was going to say, we also dislike SMART goals because I was going to make the joke, Angela wanted to use a stronger word than forget SMART goals. So had to remind her, we try not to be explicit over here and, keep it a little family friendly, if you will.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Speaking of being family friendly,
yes.
we have we have another guest who's going to join us. So what's so funny about this is that Lexi is one of our producers and was on in the background this whole time. And she sent a message saying, look, all of us are here. Lexi in the background as producer, Josh, our first host, Sammy, our second host. We shouted out Barry earlier. It's just a whole Belford family party. So welcome, Lexi. Thanks for joining us live on camera.
Thanks for having me. It's weird being in the view of it. I did have an episode that I was on, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
Episode 117.
about working for a family business, but it wasn't my family business. And now I do work for our family business. So it's a little full circle moment.
Full circle moment.
Lexi, if you could give people advice on how to be freaking awesome, what would your advice be?
How to be freaking... I was expecting what am I doing to live a freaking awesome life? I was not expecting that question.
Start with the first one. Yep. What are you doing?
Wait, real fast.
Go ahead.
Even though she just joined, sorry to leave. I've already been on lunch for like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
So I probably
Here, everybody smile real fast.
I'm sorry.
We'll take a screenshot of all of us here. So great. Okay.
right. No, that's great.
Thanks, Josh.
Sorry to leave right when you're
Appreciate
joining, Lexi.
No, you're good. Bye.
Bye.
Let me think. How am I living a freaking awesome life? Well, I'm starting my travel bucket list. Next year I want to travel at least once a month and just explore stuff. Take a note out of my parents' book of I can work remote. So why am I working remote from somewhere that's here? Why can't I work somewhere else? As my sister, as Sammy like to say, it's my eat, pray, love year. Just trying to figure out what I want to do. So about to just live a freaking awesome life and travel all over the US and maybe the world. So, yeah.
I love it. And then what's your advice?
That's a tough one. I think my advice would just be it's never too late. You don't have to, it's never too late to do something new. Or if you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. I just decided what I wanted to do for school, but if I hadn't decided what I wanted to do for schooling, I could go back in 10 years. It doesn't have to be, I'm 26. I don't have to go back to school right now. I could go back whenever I'm in my 40s, but it's never too late to figure out what you want to do. And whenever if you're stuck at a job and you're like, I want something different, but I've been here for so long and I'm getting older, it's never too late. Live your life.
I also, what I want to just pull out is that I think it is actually a very common experience or feeling that people have that it's too late, because I know a lot of people in their 20s who feel like it's too late to do this thing. And I also know people in their 40s and 50s and 60s that are like, oh, it's too late to do this thing. And they sometimes get angry at somebody in their 20s being like, it's not too late. You have so much life. You don't even know, blah, blah, blah. What's interesting is that it is a common feeling to be my time has passed, and it kind of doesn't actually matter what age you are. That's a feeling you might experience, and it is still true that it is actually not too late. And go check out the 70 over 70 list and all of the people who are doing really cool things in their 70s, and just remind yourself it truly is not too late.
Exactly.
I love it.
Awesome.
Okay, Lexi, if you don't mind, thanks for hopping on for just a minute. I'm going to kick you out because I have a wrap-up question for Angela and I.
Perfect.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for being behind the scenes the whole time.
Yes.
And doing all of the stuff. Oh, she's perfect. She left on her own. Real quick, since we have highlighted all of the Belford family that's involved in the podcast, I also want to just have huge shout out to the Belford group team and all of the people on that team that helped make this happen. We truly, the episodes wouldn't get posted if it wasn't for all of our team, most notably these days Rayleigh Knight, who is helping edit and get all of our things out. Lisha Banjaro is also helping with a lot of our things. There's so many great team members, not just the Belford family that works within the Belford group, that I'd love to say thank you to as well.
We also had a, when you were on maternity leave that first season, I had a friend, Jolene Staker from Quitman, Arkansas, and she was our temporary producer, podcast producer. It was something she had always wanted to learn how to do. And so she helped us with probably 10 to 12 different episodes. And so I want to shout out to Jolene.
I was able to show this in the stream. Gary, thank you. It says, this is awesome. Congrats on such an awesome milestone. Angela, What's funny is that I should have had a question. I should have just asked us the same questions, but I had a different question for you and I to wrap up the episode.
Okay.
If you could give yourself like a quick message 1 year from now, Angela, hitting the 5-year anniversary of the Be Freaking Awesome podcast, this is sort of like writing a letter to yourself in the future. What would you want to say? What time capsule thing would you want to say to a year from now, Angela?
Golly. Ooh, that one, no pressure or anything.
I could also would be happy to go first since I've thought about it a hot second more since I
That
had
would
already
be
prepped
lovely.
the question.
Thank you.
These are some of the moments that get edited out, folks, where we were like, Angela, why don't you ask me this question since I know what I want to answer?
That's hilarious. Oh.
Dear Sammy of the future, thank you. Thank you for the hard work that you have put in. Thank you for your perseverance and your determination and your commitment to making a difference in the lives of others. Thank you for pursuing our dream, even when it felt hard, even when you didn't know what the right answer was. Thank you for setting an example of what it looks like to do hard things and to live life without having all of the answers and maybe being a little bit risky, maybe being a little bit bold or ostentatious with it. Thank you. I'm so excited for all of the hard work that you're going to have put in a year from now, Sammy. So that's all I have to say really is thank you, thank you, thank you, future Sammy.
And I would say to future Angela, we're such a freaking rock star at continuing to grow. And here we are, 2026 will be the 10th anniversary of me writing the original book, Be Freaking Awesome. And what I love is that the name came out of literally, this was just words of wisdom that I had for some business owners. And it is so how I have lived my life. And I appreciate about you that you continue, that you don't say, look at how far I've grown. I'm good. I've arrived. We don't arrive. We continue to grow. And there are some personal growth things that you are going to tackle in 2026 that are going to make a huge and amazing difference, not just in your life, but in the lives of others when you kind of remove those shackles and allow yourself to really live loud, authentically on larger stages, and the opportunity to really spread the message of freedom. Because I would say that at the core, while Traveling Light is subtitled Freedom from the Crap in Your Head, that is the core message of anything that we produce is we want freedom. I want people to have emotional freedom, mental freedom, physical freedom. I want them to have spiritual freedom. And so I appreciate about you, 2026, Angela, that you always continue to pursue health and freedom.
That's amazing and beautiful. And after this episode comes out, what will hopefully be updated in the description, I am going to share a link. We've done this one other time where people could like send in a little recording. Okay. I would love to hear from everyone who listens. And frankly, this is going to stay in the recording. It's a free service, so it's not a subscription, will go away. And whenever you listen to this, I want to hear your message of what do you have to say to 1 year from you, 1 year from now, you. What are the things you're going to thank them for? What are the things that you're grateful? What do you hope for them? I would love to hear. I think both of us would love to hear that. And not just us, but we are going to lead the way by sharing these things. So share with us. What do you hope for a year from now?
I want to shout out December 2024 Sammy, who announced by the end of 2025, we will be out of marketing. The Belfort Group will be out of marketing. It didn't happen exactly like that. Mm-hmm. We decided to let the Belfort Group stay marketing, and instead we got Sammy out of marketing and into pursuing our next adventure. And that was vision, even though I teased you that you didn't have P&L responsibility. And we discovered that there's a lot of people that don't know they have professional development needs. We're finding they do know they have communication issues. But anyway, by being able to clarify our message by separating those two out, thank you for that vision. And it set that to set in motion me running side quests to make that happen. So shout out.
I do appreciate that, because there are definitely times where I've been like, wow, I don't know that Angela was always so happy that I just like announced this one day, and I feel like it caused more angst than anything else. And I had to like, hey, that was a goal, and if it's not possible, that's okay. It's just like setting where we're going. So anyway, I will receive that sort of that gratitude, because I've not always been 100% sure there was gratitude on the other side of that. I thought
there was not 100% of the time was I full of gratitude about that decision, because it means that this year I feel like I've worked 2.5 jobs while you adopted a baby and had 3 small children
this year,
and like had a lot of balls in the air. And so and I am also proud to lead out, and I appreciate all your work. So thank you. Awesome. This is super fun. The reason why we keep doing this, in addition to that, we think we're making an impact, but a lot of it brings us a lot of joy, and I have fun hanging out with you.
I have fun hanging out with you. So where can you find us? You can go to our website, the letter B, freakingawesome.com, and you can check out our brand new homepage. Angela and I got some beautiful pictures done earlier this year, and you can see those pictures featured all over the website. You can see more about the things that we offer, and you can also sign up for our email list, where that is a great opportunity to get connected on all the things that we're doing, because we're going to be super consistent about that, naming it and claiming it right now, and doing all the things. So thank you, everybody who's been on the journey with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks everybody who's here live. Thanks, Chrissy, for putting the link in the chat. Appreciate it. You guys can go check that out. Angela, anything else?
Just go be freaking awesome. Yeah. Oh, I took your time.
You took my.
We can't edit it out. Go ahead.
We can't edit it out. I was just making sure you didn't have anything else. Until next time, everyone. We hope you go be freaking awesome. All right, hit and stop.